I'm not gonna be animating rants like these too much since I'm deciding to put my effort into projects that I find worthy of my time, such as the game I'm currently working on developing. I'm probably gonna do more of these in the future cause, well, my channel is frickin' dying and I need a new hobby. The phase was set around my early to mid-teens, or when I started this channel to the most recently. I'm technically still a teenager, but it is only most recently that I began to realize how badly I came off. It was a combination of being edgy, having one-sided conversations, and roleplaying in the wrongest scenarios possible, probably due to many factors, from being on the autistic spectrum to just being a teenager. But it was also the exact same stage that helped me to learn to socialize and lose my fear of the world. Allow me to explain. Throughout my whole childhood, I almost spoke no words. Because I am autistic, the world has always been a cold and rejecting place. So I just stuck to myself, watching others easily interact. So in high school, I finally began to learn to speak, using symbolism and a bit of acting. Gradually, my closet filled with black leather and chains. Because of my lack of social awareness that comes with my disability, I would pretend like I'm an animal or some character out in public. Hear me out, I did not have a developed personality and years of role-playing online as a villainous arrogant jerk, and zero actual social interactions taught me how to socialize in the only way I knew how to, acting like a villainous arrogant jerk. At the time, I only knew how to communicate by role-playing. It was great. It drove people away, but some actually decided to interact with me even after I broke out of my shell in the most horrifying way possible. That was an encouragement. I used to have conversations with others, but rather than actually having a conversation, I would just speak at them any topic that comes to mind. Most of the time, it's something along the lines of monsters, anthropomorphic creatures, or random philosophy or science topics, since I do have a slight obsession with some ideas. Because the topics are often very specific, such as the question of how life would develop and function on other planets, when my conversation partner gives no good response, I used to tell them that they're stupid and shallow. Not exactly nice, but I had no social filter, and I say exactly what I think. It's not that I feel smarter than others, since I also complain about my own stupidity. So I guess it balances out. Still, not exactly nice. I was also a self-harmer, though. I picked up a habit of covering myself in red paint in order to prevent myself from doing real injuries. Because I'm, again, socially unaware, I would wear it out to public, wishing to communicate with people that I'm in pain. I was desperate, wanting to get help, but I still struggled with verbal communications. And I never thought normal people would usually have a negative attitude towards this form of communication. Because we automatically judge others as capable of speaking, only a few may actually have picked up on what I was trying to say. Hence I was judged instead for it. If I cannot speak and I wanted to seek help, symbolism was what I used to talk with others. Besides this, I also use other forms of symbolism, such as writing or drawing things onto my skin. The weirdest, probably, is how I always wanted to wear an animal mask at all times. I didn't want to be seen as human because we do not put the same human social standards and expectations when interacting with animals. I also felt as if I'm somehow less human than the rest, so I wore an animal mask when I could, even in the comfort of my own home. For the longest time, I cannot come to terms with the fact that I'm born a human, but that all passed quickly after I learned to speak. I'm feeling slightly embarrassed right now, but it was all a part of my growth to break free from being unable to express myself at all. This is why we got a stage where it's just an explosion of self-expression in the form of what we consider as edgy or cringy. Speech is the ultimate form of expression, but it comes so easily to people without a social disability. For us, it can be very hard. It was necessary for me to act this way to learn to speak. And today, I am glad I did not keep silent, even if the stage meant that I had to act like an absolute cringy edgelord. Sometimes we have to be reminded that acting cringy is not always a bad thing. Oh, and I just set up a Discord and Patreon page, link in the description below.